What is up, Forkers? Welcome to the Friday edition of Ordinary Forks. We are at the third bite of episode 2, How to Cook with Common Oils. Fridays around here are a time for celebration and relaxation. We're going to recap the episode, go over what we learned, talk about a local brewery, talk about a local restaurant, and I'm going to give you a little preview of what's coming up next week. So first, without further ado, let me introduce this week's brewery of the week. We have Cellarworks Brewing out of Sarver, Pennsylvania. This right here is their Astro Creep. As I read off the back of the can, is a double IPA at 8% alcohol by volume. 4 pints for $20. I also picked up another beer from them. Had that before this. Really good stuff. It's great if you come from a small town. You can support a local brewery or anything that's like that. If you drink beer, if that's something you're into, I do. So it's big for me to support. I'll try to keep a rotating stock of local breweries coming through here each Friday. This is how we relax for the week. Cheers. Next up, I'll tell you, we went and I got food from Philippines in Natrona Heights, PA. Philippines known for their Birdville pie, but also a purveyor of fine wings, sandwiches, salads, entrees. They got a great staff of people. I've known some of them for a very long time, run by a wonderful family. If you get a chance, go up there, say hi, order some wings, get yourself a Birdville pie. Do yourself right, do them right, and do right by your community. I'm featuring these things because if you've paid attention to me for 5 minutes on Instagram, you know I'm big on supporting the local community, and I'm big on supporting your local businesses. These are the people you either graduated with, or they're friends of people you graduated with. Maybe they're your parents, friends, kids, or something. This is what makes us special as human beings. The ability to go out and support the community in a way that is just unique to us, you know. And for everywhere I've been, for everywhere I've traveled, everywhere that I'm at that supports its local area is just really special to me. And so I know Natrona Heights is like that. I know Pittsburgh is like that. So if you have the ability and you have the capability, please go out and spend your money in some of these restaurants and businesses that need it. All right, let's recap the week. One of the first oils I introduced in the last video is canola oil. And the thing to remember here is that it's generally the most refined. It's the lightest in flavor, lightest in color, but the lack of refinement means a lack of impurities or a lack of carbon solids. So you also have a higher smoke point. One of the keys to a higher smoke point is being able to sear or cook things at a higher flavor. So if you're frying or if you're trying to get a high heat sear, refined oil is what you're going to be looking for. Depending on how you view your health or your heart health or what particular articles you read, olive oil is generally a good high smoke point alternative to canola. Olive and olive-based oils are something that is widely considered to be good for cholesterol, good for your heart. And this actually starts to impart a little bit of flavor, although that's not necessarily something you're going to be looking for if you're frying something. So even though olive oil or refined olive oil has a higher smoke point, it also has flavor, and you need to consider that depending on your application. Admittedly, I am not the largest coconut oil fan, and I will say that up front. There's, again, depending on the things you read or the things you prescribe to, cholesterol can be an issue here, but for me it's more about the solids within the oil and the fact that even in a refined state, it doesn't have as high a smoke point as I like to cook with. If you're going to use coconut oil, in my opinion, use unrefined and use it at low heat as a secondary oil when you're sauteing, so you can impart some of those flavors and get what I think is the best part about coconut. So I know this series of bites in this episode have been about cooking oils, but I did include extra virgin olive oil because it was important for me to point out that there are oils that have low smoke points and high amounts of carbon solids that aren't for cooking. And extra virgin olive oil is one of those. Some of the better versions of this, you wouldn't even think about cooking with because you'd just be imparting a really weird flavor into something. Although it tastes delicious, in my opinion, to eat with breads or cheeses and things of that nature. Just know that when you're looking at oils, for me, the most important difference is the ability to determine a refined versus an unrefined. Like almost anything that comes in an aerosol can, it is generally not meant to be ingested. I'm trying not to make this hyperbolic, but I really do not like the use of original canola spray, or sometimes they call it cooking spray. These things do have some benefits, for baking. I've used this before, but I attempt to avoid using this product at almost all cost because it's just not worth it to impart any amount of the chemical flavors into your food. It doesn't seat well in most pans. It's not for most common applications, but people still do tend to have it. So it's just one of those things. Again, this is Maddie's opinion. You don't have to follow it. But cooking oil, cooking spray is not something that I support. All right, word. Thanks for taking the time to go through that. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this week. I hope you learned something about cooking with common oils. If you want to comment or ask any further questions, please do so down below. Hit me up on Instagram at @yinzermaddie, Pinterest at @yinzermaddie, and I think I even started up a Spotify profile with the same name. I don't know why everything has to have an ability to like or dislike or be a community about certain things, but hey, whatever. Not for me to decide. Well, I think to keep it nice and relaxed on Friday, I've got some games I'm going to play. I've got some beer I've got to drink, and I've got some friends I've got to call because we're probably going to do a little power hour. So, while we're going through all this, find a way to connect with the people around you. Find a way to enjoy a good beer from a local brewery. Find a way to enjoy a good hot meal from one of the local restaurants. Take time to relax. Take time to enjoy yourself. Take time for you so that you can be a better you for the people around you. That being said, this is Maddie Worldwide for Ordinary Forks. And remember, kids, it doesn't have to be pretty, but we can damn sure make it good. Peace out. See you next week. Oops. Wait. P.S. We're going to talk about a plant that I've grown up with in Eternal Heights in my backyard. It was in a lot of the backyards of my friends in Germany. You may not necessarily think it's the most obvious plant in the world for desserts, but boy, does it bring a nice tart surprise with just a little bit of sugar. We'll get into that next week. See yous later. Peace!